Hi, love. This one's for you. I'm Jess, and this is the Effortless Expansion Podcast. This podcast is for women who are ready to do it differently. Women who are tired of being tired. Women who are ready to shift out of the old ways and rules that are still lingering from generations and generations of doing it a certain way. Together, we are going to expand your life in every way. Effortless expansion of yourself, your relationships, your health, your wealth. Write your own rules, your own way, for you. Here on this podcast, you will redefine the way you show up for yourself and your desires. You will create visions for this limitless life and what it gets to look like for yourself and your family. You will reshape the way you show up for your friendships, children, and your spouse every week. Together, we will reinvent how your limitless life looks and feels in less than 20 minutes. I'm so glad you've chosen to be here with me. You ready? Let's do this. Hey y'all, welcome back to the Effortless Expansion Podcast. Today is going to be a good one. This is straight fire inspired action and I cannot wait to share it with you. Before we jump in, I want to talk to you about a couple things that have going on in my world right now. First off, let's talk about the unknown. It's going to transition into actually what we're talking about today as well. But I want to invite you into the unknown with me. This is a specialized one-on-one group coaching container with me where we're going to go deep into the unknown, which is taking you from where you are to where you want to go, where you want to be. The space in between is called the unknown. And I would like to say that I have come to a deeper level of mastery inside the unknown. If you've been following me, you know I haven't shared in deep details, but that my family and I have been walking through some deep things these past couple months. One after the other. We're going through a huge purge, meaning things that no longer serve us are coming up to be sent to the light and to be given a space for what actually is our next step in life, our bigger purpose, digging deep into that. And throughout this, we have had to do a lot of walking in the unknown that, hey, this isn't what we asked for, but we know that it's coming up for our highest good. And therefore, what do we want? Well, here's where we want to go. So the space in between is walking in the unknown. And we've been holding ourselves through this. And it looks like, and it can be really hard and really scary because this is trusting, believing, and surrendering without evidence a lot of the times. And what do we want as humans? We want evidence. We want immediate results. We want it to happen right now. But here's the truth. Anything that you want to manifest, you have to be a match for, right? An energetic match for. And oftentimes, an energetic match means we have things to clear, we have things to work through, we have things to elevate, we have things to purge in our lives that aren't serving us so we can become a match for what is, i.e. the very thing we want, the manifestation. And in the unknown, it is clearing up all the things that are keeping you small. It is stepping forward and trust and truth in anything and everything that you want at the deepest level and layer, and getting really clear about what it is that you want and trusting and surrendering and believing without a shadow of a doubt that it's happening for you, period. And the more we can lean into this, the more the magic unfolds. And so this is the magic of the unknown. In this one-on-one space with you and I, we really get clear on what you want, and we remove anything that's stopping you, anything that's not aligning you with what you want. And this is one of my favorite spaces right now. It is my one-on-one coveted space. So if you're looking for a one-on-one container, this is it. The unknown, we have 6 or 12 month options, and you can check them out on my website at jessicadoman.com. Or of course, you can DM me as well at effortlesslykjess on Instagram. The other really big thing that I have, you guys, is I launched a new mastermind, and it's called the Unruly Mastermind. And it is for women who are ready to do it differently, who are tired of playing by the rules that we've been taught, the rules that society, has us believing. In order to be successful, in order to be a great woman, a great wife, a great human, a great mom, you have to do X, Y, Z. That's a bunch of BS, and we're tired of living that way. So being unruly is my life's mission. It is my life's work. And as I have really peeled back the layers of myself and what my life looks like being unruly, and I've started to embody it and master it, I have seen when I show up in this for my clients, when they start to embrace this and they learn these lessons and we walk hand in hand together, their life's catapult, right? They ditch the rules they've been taught, they start living their own way, and their life magically opens up in massive ways. And so what a better way to do this than in a group setting, in a mastermind setting where we gather twice a month via Zoom. Everybody comes to the table and you have a chance to ask questions to the group, to me, to have your energy cleared, to be placed in the highest alchemical frequency and healing that's available to you, as well as really examine where you are and where you want to be, right? The rules that are no longer serving you. And this is about coming in a place where you can be seen and held and feel safe to celebrate the F out of you in your life and the changes that you're making on a personal level, on a business level, on a family level, all the things to support your highest good, period. And I'm so incredibly honored and thrilled to be hosting this and to be offering it to you guys. So this is a rolling mastermind. There are 6 or 12 month options. And currently I have 3 women inside. There are 3 more spaces available as I'm now recording this. If you feel the call, if you feel the pull to join us inside the Unruly Mastermind, go to my website at jessicadoman.com or DM me at effortlesslyjess. All right, without further ado, what I really wanted to talk to you guys about today in this episode was about faith, surrender, trust. This is about really being in the unknown. This is about when the universe is handing you lesson after lesson after lesson and bringing you back to, having effortless trust and faith that the universe always has your back, that the universe is always conspiring in your favor. And this episode is, I've been hearing so much about this in my containers from my clients and in my own masterminds about, Jess, how can I have faith? How can I believe? How are you effortless with just your trust that you know it's going to happen because it's going to happen? And so I'm going to give you guys a couple tips in ways that you can increase your belief that I do. And then also I just want you to tune into the frequency that I'm offering you here, because in this word and I am word that you have the ability to calibrate up to the frequency that anything and everything is possible for you inside the trust, inside the surrendering, inside the trusting, inside the unknown, inside the magic that the universe is always conspiring in your favor, because it always is. So without further ado, I'm going to give you 3 tips to connect, to grow your trust, to grow your surrender factor, okay? And trust and surrender, just to be really clear on this, is when you have something you want to manifest and you have no evidence that it's on its way to you. Meaning, okay, you want to manifest quitting your corporate job. Let's use this as an example. And yet you have no evidence how you can ever quit your corporate job, because you have no evidence for how you're going to replace your income. You have no evidence for what you're going to do next. You have no evidence for how this could even possibly happen, because at your corporate job, if you quit, it would just fall apart. They can't operate without you. All of these things. And so if this is what you're calling in and you're like, man, I really want to do this, but I don't see how it can happen, you have 2 choices. You can start to believe, wow, this is never going to happen. I don't see how it's going to happen. This is just like a pipe dream, blah, 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 blah. It's never going to happen. I can't do that. I am not capable. You can talk bad about yourself, right? Or you can choose to believe, hey, this is my deepest desires to quit my corporate job, and I trust with beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is going to happen, period. And it isn't my job to figure out the how. Because truthfully, it's not. It's the universe's job to figure out the how. And so when you set the intention that you want to quit your corporate job in 6 months, a year, whatever it may be, your only job, like we've talked about before, is to get clear on what you want, is to think about what you want as much as you can, is to feel about how it's going to feel when you quit your corporate job, and then is to take aligned action on it every day towards quitting your corporate job. So aligned action might look like reading courses, reading books about maybe what you'd like to do next, exploring different opportunities to make additional income that light you up. What is your soul's mission, your magic, your passion, your purpose? Leaning into all that. And then starting to enroll in courses that fulfills your soul's purpose, your mission. Or is it hiring a coach? Or is it starting a side business even while you're working in your corporate job? Whatever it is for you, those are your only job. That's your only job, right? Well, also, your job is to trust that it's happening beyond belief. And it can be hard to trust when, let's say, you've had a terrible week at work, or your boss laid a bunch more work on you, or you didn't get the raise you wanted, or whatever. Insert the scenario here. But I'm inviting you to trust no matter what, because it's when we can trust no matter what that we do not compromise our energetic frequency, even though we're given signs and given proof, given evidence that it's not working yet, right? It's not coming in our favor. Like, hey, I want to quit my corporate job, but I didn't get my raise today. Okay, that sucks. Well, then how am I going to get more money? Okay, well, I want to quit my corporate job, but this side hustle business that I started like really isn't making any money. So, that stinks. How am I going to quit my corporate job? All these things, all this evidence starts appearing in your life that actually isn't what you want, right? I want to invite you to this new perspective. When things start showing up in your life that you believe isn't evidence, can you flip the script? Meaning, can you see it differently? Can you say, okay, well, this is actually just teaching me a lesson, and instead I'm going to trust and believe that this is part of my journey to get to my manifestation, i.e. in this case, quitting my corporate job. And anything that happens is just a massive distraction away from what I actually want, right? So even though I didn't get that raise, okay, am I going to choose to let that compromise my energetic frequency? Because that sucks. Or am I going to choose to be like, okay, that's just a distraction away from what I really want. And the universe is actually just testing me to say, do you actually really want to quit your corporate job? And when you can hold the faith that, yeah, I actually really do, then period, end of story, you're still in that energetic frequency that it's happening for you no matter what. It's holding the belief no matter what the outside world, what this current reality is showing you, knowing that the universe is always conspired in your favor, knowing that even these big freaking lessons that are happening are still for your highest good, period, and that the thing that you want wants you back, and that the universe is working right now to bring it to you, period, end of story. So now you're thinking, Jess, what can I do to increase my belief and my certainty? So 3 things. Number 1, I love to do this with my clients, is gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Get on the gratitude rampage. Be grateful for what you have right now. I'm grateful for my corporate job, even though I don't want to I'm grateful for you guys, I will literally go on a gratitude rampage, and we'll do this a lot in the car pickup line, especially when I'm waiting for my kids. It's I'm so grateful for my fingernails. I'm so grateful for the ring on my finger. I'm so grateful for the fresh water in my water bottle. I'm so grateful for my car that runs so well. I'm so grateful for the 10K months that I have. I'm so grateful for my house in Florida. I'm so grateful for the 5 new clients that I'm calling in this week. Blah, 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 blah. And do you see how some of those, if you know me really well, you know which ones were true and which ones I'm calling in. So I'm having gratitude for what I have right now, while also at the same time slipping little things in that I don't have yet, but I want. This is getting into your subconscious mind too. That's oh, that's right. We do already have that. So I don't currently have 5 new clients that I've signed this week, right? But that's okay. I want that. That's what I'm calling in. So I'm grateful for obviously my fingernails, my fresh water, my car that works, all these things, but also the 5 clients I'm calling in this week, getting my subconscious mind through that. So being so freaking grateful for what I have, while also calling in and being grateful for what's coming to me, like the 5 new clients this week. In reference to quitting your corporate job, you could be I'm so grateful for the job that I have right now. I'm so grateful for the friends that I have there. I'm so grateful for my boss and the relationship we have. I'm so grateful for the work I get to do there. And I'm so grateful that I'm going to get to quit my corporate job in 6 months. And I'm so grateful for the roof over my head and the gas in my car. And I'm so grateful for my new business that's going to provide excellent income for me when I quit my corporate job in 6 months, all these things. Okay. So that's one thing you can do, is go on a gratitude rampage to bring you back, bring you back into the frequency of oh my gosh, look at all the good that's happened to me, right? Because there's so much good that's happened to me. And honestly, when we're not grateful for what we have, the universe isn't going to give us more. Step 2 is to take a look back on where you have been. So I've mentioned this before, we've talked about this, but oftentimes when you look back on your life, you will see that things happen for a certain reason, and you're so grateful that they did, otherwise you wouldn't be here now. So what are the things that you've been through in the past that were really, really, really hard, that you never thought you'd survive, and yet here you are today, living, breathing, thriving in life because that happened. And now you're wow, I'm so glad that happened, because I needed that to happen in order to have this kind of life. Okay, so it's always reflecting back. That always brings you back to holy shit, that happened in my favor. Well, of course, then this hard thing that's happening right now is also happening in my favor. So that's tip 2. Tip number 3, the last one would be I love to be present in my body right now. So there's a couple ways I get present in my body. Breath work, of course. I teach a lot of this to my clients. There's somatic practices that I do. Meditation, of course, you guys know I'm a huge fan of that. I also bring myself back to the present moment, because oftentimes when we get anxious, when we worry, it's because we're thinking about things in the future that haven't even happened yet. We're trying to game plan for the future when we don't need to do that. Our job is to be right here, right now, because the truth is we manifest in the right here, right now. So when you're playing in the future or in the past, you're not playing in the present, and you can't manifest in that time. So if you're worried about how you're going to pay your bills in 6 months, that's doing you no good right now, because you don't need to pay your bills in 6 months. You need to be here right now, breathing, enjoying the life that you have, being in the joy that you have, and paying the bills that you have right now. In 6 months, who freaking knows? Maybe you won't have any bills. Maybe you're going to manifest $1.6 million and you won't have any bills. Like, be right here, right now. Notice how often your mind will wander to the future, and notice how often you have to bring it back. Bring it back by breathing into your body. Bring it back by meditation. Bring it back by grounding into the earth. Stay here in the present moment. Don't think about dinner tonight. Don't think about your meeting in 3 hours. Right here, right now. Be present in your body. This is where the magic occurs, and this is where you can manifest anything and everything you want. So these are 3 tips I wanted to leave you with to deepen the trust, the surrender, the faith that the universe is always conspiring in your favor, because it so freaking is, you guys. And when we get in our minds about worrying about, the next move, when are we going to be able to quit our job? When's our next paycheck going to come in? When's our next client going to come in? All these things, it takes us out of our energetic frequency of, wow, I'm so divine. I am word. I get to have anything and everything I want. The universe is always conspiring in my favor, and everything always works out for me. And this is the vibe I always want you to stay in. Everything always works out for me. I'm divinely protected. Word, I am word. I am a child of God in the universe, and the universe is conspiring in my favor, period. I know that it can be challenging at times to trust, surrender, have the faith, hold the vibe without evidence, but you can freaking do it. And this is the differentiator between how quickly your manifestations come to you and not. So hold the vibe. Hold the trust, hold the faith, hold the surrender. I love you. I'm rooting for you always and always. And if you're ready to lean in to do this deeper work, I'm calling you in. And I will see you in the next episode. I love you. Hey, if you love this podcast episode, can you please do me 2 quick favors? 1, take a screenshot of the podcast episode you're listening to right now, post it on your stories, and tag me at Effortlessly Jess. I'm going to be so thrilled to hear from you, and I will always repost it for my audience to see. 2nd, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, can you please leave me a 5-star review? These 2 little things take only a few minutes, but they mean so much to me. Not only does it make my day to connect with my soul sisters on the internet, but as a podcast host, these are 2 things you can do to help me get my message out to impact the women of the world. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to talk to you in next week's episode. To your effortless expansion always.